H&L presents the, the grand finale, part 3, the True Suppeena battle. Seeing that W.S. True was extremely strong with his mighty forces, he was prepared to go to Inshan and finish them off for good and secure the universe to his lord and master, the color yellow, in order to sleep with the goddess, Clinique. But before his army could mobilize and crush Inshan, Sim arrived with his Golden Age forces to bombard and defeat W.S. True's army. W.S. True was not impressed, but he was glad to see Sim, the Builder and Bashir magazine, knowing now that he could wipe them out for good. Taking advice from his goddess, Clinique, W.S. True lured the forces of Leonardo Bartel, Jasmine Bartel, and Marissa Bartel toward him, and then a giant ogre-like Gibbonian monster arrived. The giant was so big and huge that it was never before seen, and after such time, it consumed and ate Tasman, Marcel, Narissa, and Leonardo in an instant. Then he was horrified and retreated. Sim couldn't believe it. He had lost his family members. He was stunned. Jumbo was horrified as well, and so stunned that he failed to call for his ships. As soon as time that Pef and Effie were going after Clinique, and some of the troops were also telepathically lifted inside this beast mouth. And then, even more, Bygoyer and Carbonian beast had arrived. And W.S. True was very pleased by this. The Builderon will be no more, and soon the Inchun will be too. During this horrible time, J.S. Johnson, his mother Prinya, Homer Guardian, and Carl Guardian, and Tristan, and Alexander Colonial, and their godfather, Leno, had arrived. Seeing the hell that the Bilderon and the Bashir magazine forces found themselves in, we had no choice. Tristan went on to comfort Sim, as Alexander and the rest went on to attack the W.S. True's forces. Carl Guardian, who didn't like to fight, said he would guard the escape point just in case. Leno went with Tristan to guard him. And J.S. Johnson's mother, Prinya J.S., was suggesting maybe if we defeat this Clinique woman, she's a very strong and she's a Madonian. David Command is very fond of her. Let's see if he'll keep us cool if we kill her. And J.S. Johnson was like, Mother, that is a brilliant idea. I'll guard your back. Seeing the current state of affairs that they're in, Tristan and Leno went to Sim and tried to calm him down and said, Sim, get hold of yourself. Jumping, you know better. As Leno was trying to tell Jumping, calm down. Do you still have those 2 silver accent ships? Use them and destroy these beasts that are running around this battlefield before they consume more of your men. Sim, who was still bitter in tears, said yes, we're in a war. And Justin also said, we are all on the same side, the last of the old powers, the last generation of the powers of old. Instead of fighting against each other, why not fight together? We basically want the same goals. See now in this situation. Do we have a choice? Said Sim. And the Bilderon Bashar coalition decided to join the Inchun. The rest Jew was pleased. So all you fools have joined forces to die together. Good. I could feel Clinic's strong embrace from far. Doris Jew was excited, but was unaware of the situation that was about to happen. The receiver in the front line, Darling Colonial, Sonal, and Robert, and because of the great distractions and setbacks, the floor was unable to rescue them, and Alexander Colonial cut down the Risi and the officers for Darling Colonial for daring to have a name Colonial and not being a colonial. Darling Saul and Robert perished in the battle instantly by the silver destiny sword. The Esther did not care for the Risi, so it did not face them. The other heroes and leaders of the enemy forces, of the Zephyr, St. Orange, and MSC of the Suppeena, especially concerned, especially the Suppeena, since this was a galaxy that was now a place of war. But still, the overwhelming beasts and the GDU forces, troops, were very much great. And then, with the help of her son, J.S. Johnson, Springer J.S. had slain Clinic, as Clinic wailed in pain. Ugh, how could this be? Lord Ricardo, Lord and Wolsey, I failed you. And with that, Clinic had died. Red Odol X was going to the front line to kill the last leadership and the builder, but he noticed that they were calm and was stunned by this. And the silver excellent ships was coming through the pole at that time. Doris Jew had lost his mind at that point. Ah! Clinic, my darling love. My chance to meet with the goddess is gone. You fools, how you do this to me? Ah! He saw rolling on the ground, and dust was everywhere, like a baby. He had lost all cohesion. It was a great despair. Then more beasts and WSU's main forces had arrived. Seeing that the receiver no more, and seeing that WSU had lost his mind, and the so-called goddess Clinique was gone, St. Orange told his officers, spare help and enemy. This is a great chance to return back to our galaxy and search out for our freedom. All units fall back. After they left, MSC Car were advised by MB Cat, my lords, we get abandoned this one planet and head back to our capital planet. This galaxy will be ours once again. This may be end for WSU and his forces. Indeed. Come, let us go. And the Suppeena also left. You know that only the GDU main forces remaining, and the Bulgaria forces, the monsters, and the Gabonia. The two silver destiny ships had arrived, and Sim ordered, kill these men and beasts, destroy them, and avenge my family's fallen. And then the cannons of these ships started blast at the beasts. The rescue gained his composure a little bit as he noticed that some of his forces were fleeing. Murderous, traitors, dogs, cowards! All my beasts, go and consume these heathen, devour them now! And even the bay giant Company Olga was advancing. Some of the troops had to run away from this thing as the Silver Destiny ships worked their magic. And soon the Kibani and the Bulgaria were no more. After such time, the Allied forces moved forward, cutting down the remainder of the GDU troops, seeing that his allies had fled. And then Alexander Colonial faced off against GDU Spill. As GDU said, I will make you pay for killing my darling. You'll pay. And at the same time, Sam got vengeance and slaying Adolver X, ending the Madonian connection to the GDU. And then Alexander, confronting the Westjewers, said, you're nothing but a perverted fool who can't even maintain his own army to serve him. You will fall here today. Prepare yourself. And with the powerful blast of the Colonial and the slash of the Silver Destiny, Gideon's spear broke in two, and he was killed instantly. And his last words were, "Clinic, oh my clinic, if only." And then he died. With the Gideon forces completely destroyed, the enemy's vanguard army was no more. Alexander and Tristan met up with Sim and Perth and Power Ant, and eventually Alex Sumo, who had arrived late. Seeing the disparity that they were in, they decided to join forces and become one. Seeing that all the forces that surrounded them were now becoming one, the Banker led by Lord Molo reluctantly surrendered. Now only one final battle was necessary between the side of Tristan and Alexander coming up and the side of Buttertoy and Tesha and Madonia, with the Chaldeans, the Scholasticans, and the Kichu, and with Maverick and Christina alongside with them. The final battle was approaching, but still, will there be a third power yearning for control as well?